Hello there and welcome to this short video on combo boxes and populating them from a file. And in this video we're going to have a nice simple user interface. We've got a label that says clock-in number, we've got a password label, we have a combo box to populate our clock-in numbers, and we've got our passwords in a normal text box. Then we have a button below it to submit it because this is a user login. Now the reason why we're using a combo box here is because we are trying to populate all the different clock-in numbers from a file into the drop-down box. And we do that because we don't expect the user to remember a really complex, long list of numbers in order to get their clock-in number and log in. It just makes it a lot more easy and straightforward if they can scroll down, remember some of the numbers, and select theirs from the drop-down list. So let's get cracking. We're going to jump straight in and do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just double-click my form, and I get the load event called combo boxes. That's the name of my form, and load. So this is the load event. So what do we want to do when we load this? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build a very basic structure, and the structure is going to hold the information for my login. And inside my structure, I'm going to have a VB fixed string of size 4. So my clock-in numbers are going to be of length 4. So I want to keep them fairly short, to be honest. You can have them as long as you like. It's up to you. But I'm going to put in a string there and another fixed string. Now, I'm using fixed strings because I'm doing direct access. So I need to know where the record starts and where the record finishes. So dim password as a string as well. Now, why is the clock-in number a string? Well, if I'm not doing any arithmetic operations to it, then it can just remain as a string. So I'll keep it there, no problem with that. Now, in order for me to get access to this structure, I need to declare a pointer. So I'll say dim str login as login. So this is a global pointer pointing to my structure. And notice now, if I type in str login and a full stop, I've got access to the clock-in number and I've got access to the password. So remember, a record structure can hold multiple data types under one identifier. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly create a nice and simple procedure that will populate a single login into a file. And I'm going to say sub add to file bracket bracket enter. So I've created a little procedure here, and it's going to basically say str login dot clock-in number is given the value of an input box, and inside that input box it's going to say input 4-digit clock-in number. This one is going to say str login dot password, and it's going to say input box input 30 character password. Okay, so it's going to ask two things from the user, and then what I need to do now is I need to do a little bit of file handling. So remember the 3 steps of file handling. Number 1, open the file. So let's do that. We want to save it in a little file called login.txt. I'm going to open this in random mode, and you should be no stranger to file handling at this point of your computer science course. So if you don't know how file handling works, then go back and watch the Garden Center programs on the channel. And when I've done that and I've opened the file, I need to know how many records, how many login details are currently stored inside there, because I'm going to append these onto the end. So I'm going to say numrex as integer, and I do a little bit of nifty code to basically work out how many records I have in my file. And the example is, let's say the length of my file is 100 bytes, and I have a length of my structure which is 10 bytes. And so how many is that? That's 100 divided by 10, and that's 10. So I can fit 10 records, or I have 10 records inside my file, and that gets stored in numrex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say file put. So put the channel 1 str login. So put the thing I've just populated into my file at what position. That's the third parameter. What position do I want it in? I want it in numrex plus 1. So I know I've got 10 records in there. I'm going to put it in the 11th position. And that's as simple as that. And just for the user, I'm just going to say message box file added. Okay. So the user will get a little notification. And then the third step of file handling is to close the file, something which I always forget. So step 1, open the file. Step 2, do something, file put. And then step 3, close the file. So that'll do. Let's just test this out. I'm just going to put add to file inside my load event. So when I run this, it pops up with the first box. So this is currently line number 14. So let's put in 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's go, let's do password 1 as our password. Okay. And we get a little box saying file added and we say okay. So stop my program. I'm just going to run that again and add another one. Let's do something a little bit more challenging this time. That's it, 8976 and password 2. Okay, save that. File has been added, no problem there. So just go ahead and comment that out because I've actually populated my files now. What's the next thing I need to do? So for me, all I need to do now is basically populate that combo box when the user opens the file. So when you load, go into your file, get all the items from the file and put them into the combo box. So to do that, we open the file again. What I'll do actually is I'll copy this line here because this is the line we need. It's the same stuff. So I'll put that in there. So open the file. What do we want to do? Instead of saying file put now, we want to say do while the end of file has not been reached. So do while, I need to put not in there, not end of file. And then inside there, I can now loop through and do whatever I like. So inside my loop, I'm going to need to, every time I iterate over a record, I'm going to use the file get function here to populate my structure every time. So populates that structure that I've created. I just need a comma after that. If I leave this last parameter blank, it's basically going through and iterating itself. So I don't want to give it a specific number in there because otherwise it'll jump to that record using random access. So then I need to say my combo box clocking number dot items dot add followed by str login dot clocking number. So that is the code there to populate my combo box with all of the records from my file. Now, what I'll do as well is I'll put a message box there and I'll say, let's do combo box loaded. Okay, so the message box says combo box loaded, and then don't forget the third step of file handling is file close. So put that in there, off we go, and let's just run this and see what happens. So combo box loaded. So you missed that because it wasn't on my screen or your screen, and you'll see now that my combo box has been populated with the 2 records that I added before, and these have come directly from my file. I've not hard coded them in at all. And if you're interested in just populating combo boxes, then this is the point where you can kind of switch off this video, I suppose. But for everybody else, I'm going to continue and see how a login could work with this. So let's get the login system working. And to do that, all I'm going to do is double click this submit button because all the action will happen when I click the submit button. Now I'm going to need, you know what? I'm going to need the same code as the load, I think. I'll take the exact same code and we'll amend this to make it work for our login. So I open the file, I loop through the file each record. I'm not populating a combo box though this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use an if statement to basically check the login clocking number if that clocking number is the same as the clocking number that's been selected in the combo box, so let's do selected item, and strlogin.password. Now, the problem with this is my password is 30 characters as per my structure. So that 30 characters, I'm going to have to trim the white space off there, because if someone enters less than 30 characters, then this is going to cause me a problem. So I'll say if strlogin.clocking number is the same as the clocking number that's been selected in the combo box, and the password that's been trimmed from my file is the same as txt password.text, then do something. Okay, then do something. That means we have a successful login. So I'll put message box, and I'll just put login successful. And I'll break out the loop. So I'll just automatically break myself out there. And let's just give that a go. I won't put combo box loaded though. I'll take that if that's message box away from there. Let's just run this and see what happens. So combo boxes have been loaded. There we go. Let's pick 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think the password was password 1, lowercase p, I think it was. There you go. Yep, successful login. And it stops. It stops looping through the file. And that is how you make a combo box populated from the file in your login system.